Employer niya.
Asan? Ito yung...
Yung employer gusto ng tao, mga tao. Kaya nga, DUTERTE lang yan, VP, si VP naman yan, tama.
We can shake.
President Rodrigo Duterte asking the military and police why former anti-drug operative Eduardo Asierto is still alive. Asierto said on Monday that the president's former economic consultant Michael Yang was deep into the illegal drug trade. Mr. Duterte was speaking before beneficiaries of the government's unconditional cash transfer program in Coronadal City, South Cotabato. He also implicated Asierto in kidnapping Chinese citizens, killing a Korean national in Camp Crame, and selling firearms to communist rebels. Here's the president in his own words.
Huwag kayo maniwala nitong, lalo na ito si Asierto. Ito nga yung tanungin ko kayang military pati police, bakit buhay pa yung yun? Man, he was the guy na nag-import ng AK-47, 1,000 something pieces. Tapos, dineliver niya sa New People's Army. Police itong to ha. Anan yung sabi lang si Michael Yang. Michael Yang is always with Premier Wu ng China. Every time magpunta dito kasama yan. Papaya kaya ng ambasador yung satellite nila. Papaya kasi Michael Yang magpunta-punta dito. Kasama-kasama yung ambasador. Ngayon binuko ko sila dyan, sabi ko, you are a idiot. Nila Asierto. Kasi alam ko na, sabi niya, hindi ko raw binigyan ng importansya. Bakit ko bigyan ng importansya? Kayo yung imbestigar, gawin yung trabaho ninyo. Ang sabi niya, hindi ko raw binigyan ng importansya. Alam ko siya na corrupt. Alam ko siya na nakikidnap ng mga Chinese. Pati yung Koreano na pinatay doon sa Krame, siya yun. Asierto na to.
The president had once linked Asierto to the illegal drug trade. Asierto was dismissed from service last year. Authorities may soon release more names of politicians supposedly involved in the illegal drug trade. Aside from politicians, at least 30 celebrities could also be in trouble. Our Zian Arcangel reports.
Authorities are investigating more politicians for alleged involvement in the illegal drug trade, aside from the initial 46 named by President Rodrigo Duterte in the latest version of his so-called narco list. Interior Undersecretary and spokesperson Jonathan Malaya says they are working with the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency to validate information about the involvement of at least 20 other politicians in the illegal drug trade. Malaya did not disclose their positions and only says they plan to file administrative and criminal charges against them once the vetting process is finished.
I confirm that there are additional 20 names that are being validated, but there's more. Sa totoo lang kasi mahaba talaga yung listahan. And it would not be fair to just give out names. We hope that very soon matapos na yung vetting, because we really intend to file again another batch of cases against the others in the list.
It's not just narco politicians in the government's radar. PIDEA Director General Aaron Aquino reveals they are investigating 31 celebrities for possible drug links. He says most of them are young stars using party drugs.
Yes, big names. You can see them anywhere in the TV. You can see them. Even movies, you can see them. May ilan na pusher, karamihan user. And they may gumagamit ng cocaine, may gumagamit ng party drugs, merong marijuana, meron din shabu.
Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo can't say if President Duterte will also reveal the names of celebrities once their links are verified. But he adds there will be no sacred cows in the drug war and those involved will face charges.
We're saddened that these people are involved, but we will never tolerate it. If they have sufficient evidence to back them up in court, then they should.
Okay, ngayon yung
And they
Duterte...
must.
More than 3 years into the drug war, authorities admit the country is far from being drug-free. Based on recent discoveries of billions of pesos in illegal drugs, authorities support President Duterte's statement that the drug problem has worsened.
Malaki ang problema natin. Bakit? Well, patuloy pa rin tayo nakakasabat ng ganito karaming droga.
It's worsening in the sense na mas nagiging audacious yung mga drug syndicates, no? Because remember, it's fueled by demand, it's fueled by money.
Despite the challenges, authorities say they will fight illegal drug operations until the end of President Duterte's term. Cian Arcangel, CNN, Philippines.
Handa na ang Philippine National Police na ipaaresto muli ang suspect sa pagpaslang ng isang babaeng estudyante sa Cebu. Kasunod dito ng kautusan ni Pangulong Duterte na dapat ipadakip muli ang minor de edad na suspect. Sabi sa CNN Philippines ni PNP spokesperson Senior Superintendent Bernard Banac na gagawin nila ito kapag pumayag na ang korte. Sa kanyang talumpati sa South Cotabato noong Lunes, sinabi ng Pangulo na kinausap niya ang piskal na nagpalaya sa 17 taong gulang na suspect dahil sa kawalan ng warrant of arrest. Ang suspect ay dating boyfriend ng 16 na taong gulang na biktima na si Christine Silawan na nakita ang mga labi sa isang bakanting lupa sa Lapu-Lapu City noong March 11. Nakita sa CCTV footage na magkasama ang dalawa noong gabi bago natagpuan ang katawan ni Silawan.
Nag-file ang NBI ng motion for reconsideration on the resolution issued by the Court of the Prosecutor's Office of Lapu-Lapu City to release the suspect. So if the court grants the motion, then we are ready to effect the arrest. Or if the court issues a warrant of arrest, then we are ready to effect the warrant of arrest.
Nauna nang sinabi ng pulisya na lutas na ang kaso, ngunit hindi pa nila ito
Yung kabatay sa bata ni-release upon orders of the prosecutor. Tinawagan ko siya pagka-umaga. Pero this is just between us. But if you want it published, fine with me. Sabi ko, i-recall mo yung order ninyo of dismissal and have the guy re-arrested. Kasi piskal ako, piskal ka.
Nauna nang sinabi ng pulisya na lutas na ang kaso, ngunit hindi pa nila ito sinasarado. Sa ibang balita, bumuelta si Pangulong Duterte kay dating Police Senior Superintendent Eduardo Asierto. Ang tanong niya sa pulis at militar, bakit buhay pa rin si Asierto? Lumantad kamakailan ng dating pulis at isiniwalat na sangkot sa iligal na droga ang dating economic advisor ni Pangulong Duterte na si Michael Yang. Sa isang pagtitipon sa South Cotabato kagabi, sinabi ng Pangulo na si Asierto ang dawit sa iba't ibang krimen. Kabilang daw dito ang pagdukot sa mga Chinese, pagpatay sa isang Korean national sa Kampo at pagbibenta ng mga armas sa mga rebelde.
Huwag kayo maniwala nitong, lalo na ito si Asierto. Ito nga yung tanungin ko kayang military pati police, bakit buhay pa yung yan? Man, he was the guy na nag-import ng AK-47, 1,000 something pieces. Tapos, dineliver niya sa New People's Army. Pulis itong ito ha. Anyan yung sabi lang si Michael Yang. Michael Yang is always with Premier Wu ng China. Every time magpunta dito kasama yan. Papayag kaya ng ambasador yung satellite nila, papayag kasi Michael yan magpunta-punta dito kasama-kasama yung ambasador. Ngayon binuko ko sila dyan, sabi ko, you are a idiot. Nila asyerto. Kasi alam ko na, sabi niya, hindi ko raw binigyan ng importansya. Bakit ko bigyan ng importansya? Kayo yung imbestigar, di gawin yung trabaho ninyo. Ang sabi niya, hindi ko raw binigyan ng importansya. Alam ko siya na corrupt. Alam ko siya na nakikidnap ng mga Chinese, pati yung Koreano na pinatay doon sa krame, siya yun. Asyerto na to.
Kapwa naman itinanggi ni na Senador Richard Gordon at PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde na may natanggap silang report galing kay Asyerto. Matatanda ang ibinunyag ng dating pulis sa isang video na binigyan niya ng ulat sina Gordon, Albayalde, dating PNP Chief Ronald De La Rosa, PIDEA Chief Aaron Aquino at ilang opisyal ng Malacanang hinggil sa pagkakadawit umano ni Michael Yang sa droga.
Wala sir siya nasabi. Sinabi niya lang, tinanong ko siya, sa tingin mo ba may involvement ng presidente? Sabi niya, wala raw siyang ebidensya. Sabi niya. Sabi ko, anong gusto mong palabasin dito? Sinabi niya rin raw kay Patuata ito, kung kalino pa. Sabi ko, kung sinabi mo doon, ba't di ka pinatulan?
Kinumpirma naman ni PIDEA Chief Aaron Aquino na nakatanggap siya ng report galing kay Asyerto. Pero sinabi niyang hindi totoo ang mga aligasyon niya laban kay Yang. Gayunpaman, ibabalidate pa rin daw ng PIDEA ang mga impormasyon na galing kay Asyerto.
Kasi matagal na ng kaibigan yata ng ating presidente yan. And knowing him, so ibig sabihin alam na alam ng presidente kung it is involved or not. And another thing, ganun din kakilala ni Ambassador of China, si Michael Yang. Kaya kinlear niya rin outright. So kung hindi na sana nila kilala, dapat sinabi nila that they will conduct deeper investigation kung talaga bag-involved. Hindi. Pero outright clearing him, it will show that indeed that he is not involved in illegal drugs.
Kung si Senador Ping Lacson naman ang tatanungin, dapat imbestigahan ang mga paratang ni Asyerto dahil idinadawit din ang pangalan ni Pangulong Duterte. Sabi ni Lacson, may pinakita sa kanyang larawan ng dating pulis kung saan magkasama ang Pangulo at si Yang. Pero hindi raw siya kumbinsido sa mga aligasyon ni Asyerto.
May mga butas na hindi ako believe. So, ang sabi sa kanya, provide me with all the details. Hindi po pwede itong ganito lang na papakita mo photographs. Kasi di ba naging issue na rin sa mga previous hearings namin yung picture ni Senator De Lima, kasama si Kerwin Espinosa, picture ni President Duterte, may kasama kung sino. Hindi masyadong convincing pag picture lang
Binigyan din ng Malacanang nakakasuhan si Yang kung mapapatunayan ang mga paratang laban sa kanya ni Asyerto. Sabi ni Presidential Spokesperson Sal Panelo, hinihintay nila ang report ng mga otoridad tungkol dito. Nauna nang sinabi ni Panelo na malinis ang pangalan ni Yang.
I think the burden would fall on the law enforcement agencies. If they receive reports on alleged activities of a particular person, then they should do something about it. We're waiting for the validation of any allegation of involvement.
Samantala, wala ng window hours para sa mga sasakyan na apektado ng number coding scheme. Sa panayam sa The Source, sinabi ni MMDA EDSA Traffic Chief Bong Nebriha, agad nagsimulang ipatupad ang patakaran kahapon matapos itong mapagdesisyonan. Simula alas 7 ng umaga hanggang alas 8 ng gabi, bawal na ang mga sasakyang apektado ng number coding na bumiyahe sa mga major road katulad ng EDSA, C3, C5 at C6. Para mas maibsan pa ang traffic, balak din ng MMDA na ilipat ang mga provincial bus terminal sa labas ng Metro Manila.
It's not a provincial bus ban. Actually, we're moving their operations outside Metro Manila. So, the misnomer is that, okay, bawal na ang provincial buses sa EDSA. No, it's not only EDSA. It's all over Metro Manila. So, there are 96 bus terminals in Metro Manila, 46 of which are in EDSA. So, we're moving them out slowly. We'll start with EDSA before going to the other parts of Metro Manila. Right now, we've been in continuous dialogue with LTFRB because there will be an adjustment of fare matrix on this.
Muling mapapanood ang panayam kay MMDA Traffic Chief Bong Nebriha mamayang alas 2 ng hapon at alas 7:30 ng gabi. Ang ating issue ngayon, anong masasabi niyo sa panukalang ilipat lahat ng mga provincial bus terminal sa labas ng Metro Manila? Oras na para boses niyo naman ang aming pakinggan. Bukas na ang aming Facebook Live para sa inyong mga komento. Ligtas ang mas malaki at color-coded na mga plaka ng motorsiklo dahil hindi ito gawa sa bakal. Ito ang tiniyak ng Land Transportation Office. Sagot yan ng LTO sa pangamba ng ilang mga rider group tungkol sa bagong batas. Para kasi sa mga rider, malaking panganib ang posibleng dala ng mga naturang plaka para sa kanila at sa mga pedestrian. Samantala, ayon kay LTO Chief Edgar Galvante, bumuo na ng isang technical working group para balangkasin ang Implementing Rules and Regulations o IRR ng batas. Magiging epektibo na ang batas 15 araw matapos ang publication ng IRR na mangyayari sa Hulyo.
Halimbawa, yung pinoprotesta nila na yung plaka sa harap kung metal, may danger ito. Sinagot na yun na hindi gagamit ng metal na material para sa plaka sa harap. No? Kaya yung pangamba nila na baka makasugat, makasakit, kumbaga tanggalin na nila yun.
Mga balita naman sa labas ng bansa, nais ng Europe na mas palaguin at maging patas ang relasyon ng pangkalakalan nito sa China. Noong Martes, masayang sinalubong ni French President Emmanuel Macron, sina Chinese President Xi Jinping, German Chancellor Angela Merkel at si European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker sa Paris. Pinag-usapan nila ang tungkol sa climate change at pakikipagkalakalan. Isa sa kanilang pinirmahan ang kasunduan na ibenta ang 300 Airbus passenger jet sa Chinese Airlines. Kilala ang European Union bilang largest trading zone in the world pero nangangamba ito dahil mabagal ang pag-unlad nito sa ekonomiya ng China. Dahil dyan, sinisikap ng makipag-ugnayan ang mga leader ng EU sa China para mas maging bukas pa sa kanila ang merkado nito. Inilabas na ng Huawei ang mga bagong flagship smartphone nito na P30 at P30 Pro. Sabi ng Chinese company, tinataguri ang isang game changer ang mga naturang bagong modelo dahil sa overkill na kamera nito. Tampok dito ang 4 na kamera sa likod kung saan mas daig pa ang high quality na litrato kahit madilim ang pinikturan. Anila kakumpetensya nito ang iPhone XS ng Apple at ang Galaxy S10 Plus ng Samsung. Kayo ay nasa newsroom ngayon sa mga kababayan natin sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo. Mapapanood niyo rin kami sa cnnphilippines.com at sa aming Facebook page na CNN Philippines. Abangan, mahigit 30 mga celebrity na posibleng sangkot sa iligal na droga iniimbestigahan ng PDEA. Bukod sa mga politiko, iniimbestigahan na rin ng mga otoridad ang mahigit 30 mga celebrity na posibleng sangkot sa iligal na droga. Ayon kay Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency Director General Aaron Aquino, karamihan sa kanila mga young star na gumagamit ng party drugs.
Yes, big names. You can see them anywhere in the TV. You can see them. Even movies, you can see them. May ilan na pusher, karamihan user. And they may gumagamit ng cocaine, may gumagamit ng party drugs, merong marijuana, meron din shabu.
Samantala, hindi naman sigurado si Presidential Spokesperson Salvador Panelo kung papangalanan ni Pangulong Duterte ang mga nasabing celebrity sa oras na makumpirma na nasangkot sila sa iligal na droga. Dagdag pa ni Panelo, hindi sila kukonsentihin at mahaharap din sila sa kaso.
We're saddened that these people are involved. But we will never tolerate it. If they have sufficient evidence to back them up in court, then they should.
Okay, ngayon yung
And they must.
Pirma na lang ni Pangulong Duterte ang kulang at magiging batas na ang 2019 budget bill. Nilagdaan na kasi ni Senate President Tito Soto ang atrasadong budget kahapon, ngunit may quote, strong reservation. Sa isang media briefing, nilinaw ni Soto na ang kanyang pirma ay pagsuporta sa mga bahagi ng budget na napagkasunduan ng Senado at Kamara nung ratipikahan nito. Giit ni Soto, may mga bahagi pa rin ng 2019 budget na itinuturing na unconstitutional ng Senado. Inilakip ni Soto sa batas ang listahan ng kanyang mga reservation nang pirmahan niya ito. Nasa Pangulong Duterte na raw ang pagpapasya kung ibivito niya ang mga naturang term sa budget bill. Ang naganap na pagpirma ni Soto sa panukala ay resulta ng pulong ng Senado at ng Kamara matapos ang ilang buwan na girian ng mga mababata sa mga probisyon ng 2019 national budget.
Attached as Annex 1 is the list of 95 billion worth of programs projects which include the 75 billion programs and projects funded from the said realignments. The President may wish to consider disapproving these unconstitutional realignments pursuant to his constitutional power to veto particular items in the General Appropriations Act.
Nagpasalamat naman si House Appropriations Committee Chairperson Rolando Andaya Jr. kay Soto sa pagpirma niya sa budget bill. Tungkol naman sa mga reservation ni Soto, bahala na raw ang Pangulo na magdesisyon tungkol dito.
It's totally under the discretion and complete control of the President whether he wants to veto certain items. But of course, there has to be set or general standards for it. It cannot be capricious or just merely a sentiment. There has to be a standard for it. I've been DBM Secretary for some time, and I know what's forthcoming. And thank God, it will get to the table of the President for his signature. I understand the sentiments of our Senate President, but what is important that he has given is imprimatur for that budget to be passed on to Malacanang for its execution.
Hindi pa lusot ang Manila Water sa mga dapat nitong panagutan matapos ang mga water interruption kamakailan lang. Sinabi ito sa CNN Philippines ni Metropolitan Waterworks and Sewerage System Administrator Reynaldo Velasco kahit na inanunsyo ng Manila Water ang bill waiver o hindi pagsingil sa mga matinding na apektuhan ng kawalan ng tubig. Ayon kay Velasco, tinitingnan pa nila ang iba pang mga posibleng parusa na maaaring ipataw sa water concessionaire.
The 150 million is not just the number. They are studying iba pang mga options na kanilang kukumpitin, especially yung sinasabi nilang yung most affected, no? Yung most adversely affected. So, the 150 million is not yet over. But ang sinabi namin nga dito, in addition to this, they are not exempted from what is in the concession agreement kasi mayroon pang ipapataw yan na penalty sa kanila as in relation to the concession agreement.
Samantala, sinabi ni Velasco na hindi pa rin full capacity ang operasyon ng Cardona Treatment Plant ng Manila Water na kailangan para matugunan ang supply sa mga customer nito sa East Zone. Sa sports naman, nakakuha ng dagdag na suportang pinansyal ang bansa para sa hosting ng 2019 Southeast Asian Games. Nangako si San Miguel President at Chief Operating Officer Ramon Ang na tutulong sa anumang kapasidad ang kumpanya para maging matagumpay ang idaraos na kompetisyon dito. Nauna ng pinawi ng organizers ang pangamba na baka mapunta sa ibang bansa ang hosting rights dahil sa naaantalang budget para dito.
We have been supporting the sports. In fact, we have supported Ricky Vargas. And we will continue to support yung sports. I think nasa dugo ng mga Pilipino yun . And alam ko, ang Pilipino, ang paborito, basketball di ba?
Any amount in mind?
Ay, hindi na bali yung amount. Whatever it takes to support our country, we will do it.
Nagbigay na rin ng ₱250 milyong ang Philippine Southeast Asian Games Organizing Committee para sa mga top athletes ng bansa. Magaganap ang SEA Games mula November 30 hanggang December 11. Magaling ba kayo sa wikang Ingles at gustong magturo rin? Baka kayo nang hinahanap ng isang kumpanya sa bansa, ang mga online English teacher para sa mga estudyanteng Japanese. Ang mga aplikante dapat tapos ng kolehiyo. Kailangan din lisensyadong guro o nurse na may mahusay na American English accent. Magaling rin dapat dumiskarte sa pagtuturo, marunong makinig ng maigi at willing na matuto. Ang sahod nasa pagitan ng 13 hanggang 20,000 pesos. Kung interesadong mag-apply, makipag-ugnayan lang sa email address at numero na naka-flash sa inyong mga screen. Bisitahin din ang philjobnet.gov.ph para sa iba pang listahan ng mga bakanting trabaho. Bigyan natin ang pinakamalalaking balita ngayong oras na ito. PNP handang ipaaresto muli ang suspect sa pagpatay kay Christine Silawan. Kasunod dito ng utos ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte na ipadakip ulit ang 17 anyos na suspect. Mas marami pang personalidad kasama sa narco list. Malacanang tiniyak na walang sasantuhin sa mga ito. At MMDA tinanggal na ang window hour sa number coding scheme sa EDSA at mga pangunahing kalsada sa Metro Manila. Habang mga provincial bus terminal naman target ng alisin sa Metro Manila sa Hunyo. Arestado sa Makati City ang Starstruck Season 6 winner na si Migo Adeser matapos masangkot sa isa umanong insidente ng hit and run kagabi. Base sa investigasyon ng mga otoridad na hagip ng sports car ni Adeser, ang dalawang empleyado ng MMDA na nakamotorsiklo sa Barangay Poblacion. Matapos nito ay sinubukan daw silang takbuhan ng 19 anyos na aktor. Lasing daw ito at tumangging isuko sa mga otoridad ang kanyang lisensya. Na-corner si Adeser sa kahabaan ng N. Garcia Street nang magtangka muling tumakas. Nabangga naman niya ang patrol car ng mga pulis. Samantala, isinugod ang mga biktima sa ospital ng Makati para lapatan ng lunas. Naharap si Adeser sa patong-patong na kaso na kagaya ng reckless imprudence resulting in physical injuries and damage to property at disobedience to person in authority. President Rodrigo Duterte asking the military and police why a former anti-drug operative is still alive. The president was referring to Du30 who said on Monday that the president's former economic consultant, Michael Yang, was deep into the illegal drug trade. Mr. Duterte was speaking before beneficiaries of the government's unconditional cash transfer program in Coronadal City, South Cotabato. He also implicated Asierto in kidnapping Chinese citizens, killing a Korean national in Camp Crame, and selling firearms to communist rebels. Here's the president in his own words.
Huwag kayo maniwala nitong, lalo na ito si Asierto. Ito nga yung tanungin ko kayang military pati police, bakit buhay pa yung yun? Man, he was the guy na nag-import ng AK-47, 1,000 something pieces. Tapos, dineliver niya sa New People's Army. Police itong ito ha. Anan yung sabi lang si Michael Yang. Michael Yang is always with Premier Wu ng China. Every time magpunta dito kasama yan. Papaya kaya ng ambasador yung satellite nila. Papaya kasi Michael Yang magpunta-punta dito. Kasama-kasama yung ambasador. Ngayon, binuko ko sila dyan, sabi ko, you are a idiot. Nila Asierto. Kasi alam ko na, sabi niya, hindi ko raw binigyan ng importansya. Bakit ko bigyan ng importansya? Kayo yung imbestigar, di gawin yung trabaho ninyo. Ang sabi niya, hindi ko raw binigyan ng importansya. Alam ko siya na korap. Alam ko siya na nagkikidnap ng mga Chinese, pati yung Koreano, na pinatay doon sa Krame, siya yun. Asierto na to.
The president had once linked Asierto to the illegal drug trade. Asierto was dismissed from service last year. The head of the anti-drug law enforcement agency says Eduardo Asierto's allegations against Michael Yang are so far not true. Now, Richard Shetirada tells us more.
The Philippine Drug Enforcement Authority denies the involvement of former presidential advisor Michael Yang in the drug trade. Well, that's only if PDEA Director General Aaron Aquino will base it on the president's statement.
Kung ibabase ko kasi sa statement ng presidente, well, it seems na I will deny yung involvement niya. And sabi ko nga, I cannot confirm or validate that right now. Hindi ko maano until I get the real story.
While investigation is ongoing, Aquino is taking the president's word for it.
Kasi matagal na ng kaibigan yata ng ating presidente yan. And knowing him, so ibig sabihin, alam ng presidente kung it is involved or not. And another thing, mukhang Ganon din kakilala ni Ambassador of China, si Michael Yang. Kaya kinlear niya rin outright. So hindi na sana nila kilala, dapat sinabi nila that they will conduct deeper investigation kung talaga bang involved, hindi. Pero outright clearing him, it will show that indeed that he is not involved in illegal drugs.
But despite the president clearing Yang's name, Aquino says they will still validate and confirm the claims of former senior superintendent Eduardo Asierto. Asierto says Yang, alias Dragon, and Hong Min Yang had been involved in the clandestine laboratory that his team dismantled in Dumoy, Davao City in 2004. That time, the president was Davao City Mayor. Aside from Yang, Asierto also mentioned a certain Alan Lim, who was arrested at a clandestine laboratory in Cavite in 2003. There's also a Johnson Chua, who allegedly runs a Shabu lab in Davao and Cagayan de Oro. Asierto says all three use legitimate businesses to cover up illegal operations. But what's unclear with Asierto is the link with the president and his aide Bongo. Asierto says he submitted hard copies of his report to Aquino, to then PNP Chief Bato de la Rosa, former Directorate for Operations Camilo Cascolan, and current PNP Chief Director General Oscar Albayalde. Albayalde denies receiving the report.
Or as far as the PNP is concerned, wala pong kaming information whatsoever on the alleged illegal activities of Michael Yang.
But Aquino confirms he received the report and informed Malacanang through then Special Assistant to the President, Bongo.
Ang first reaction is nabigla sila kung bakit may ganong report. And pararatingin nila sa Presidente ang pagkasabi and magkakandak din sila na sarili nilang investigasyon. Bakit nagkaroon ng ganong report?
But while the President has cleared Yang in one of his speeches, PDEA says its investigation continues. It's having a hard time figuring out if the Michael Yang tagged as a pusher in Suwal, Pangasinan in 2004 is the same person as the president's advisor and alleged drug den operator in Davao City in 2004.
Kung alam niya na involved pala si Michael Yang, nung panahon na nagkaroon ng operation ng clandestine laboratory sa Davao at saka dyan sa part ng Cagayan de Oro, at siya pa nga ang nag-lead ng operation sa Davao, bakit hindi niya idinawit si Michael Yang sa pag-file ng kaso? Sana noon pa lang yan, napailan niya na since siya naman pala nakakaalam.
Aside from anti-drug authorities, Malacanang has earlier cleared Yang of involvement in the drug trade. Trisha Darada, CNN, Philippines.
Eduardo Asierto claims he also gave copies of his report on Michael Yang's supposed drug links to Senator Dick Gordon, but the senator denies this.
Wala siya sinasabi. Sinabi niya lang, tinanong ko siya, sa tingin mo ba may involvement ng presidente? Sabi niya, wala raw siyang ebidensya. Sabi niya. Sabi ko, anong gusto mong palabasin dito? Sinabi niya rin raw kay Bato ata ito, kung kalino pa. Sabi ko, kung sinabi mo doon, ba't di ka pinatulan?
For Senator Ping Lacson, authorities should look into the claims to clear the air because the dismissed cop tagged President Duterte. Lacson admits Asierto showed him a photograph of the president with Yang, but he's not convinced.
May mga butas na hindi ako believe. So, ang sabi sa kanya, provide me with all the details. Hindi po pwede itong ganito lang na papakita mo photographs. Kasi di ba, naging issue na rin sa mga previous hearings namin Yung picture ni Senator De Lima, kasama si Kerwin Espinosa, picture ni President Duterte, may kasama kung sino. Hindi masyadong convincing pag picture lang
A check on our global headlines. Europe's top leaders told Chinese President Xi Jinping they want a fairer trading relationship with China. On Tuesday, French President Emmanuel Macron welcomed President Xi, German Chancellor Angela Merkel, and European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker in Paris. They discussed climate change, trade, and multilateralism. Among the agreements they signed, a deal to sell 300 Airbus passenger jets to Chinese airlines. The European Union is the world's largest trading zone, but it has become increasingly frustrated by what it sees as the slow pace of economic opening in China. That's even after years of granting China almost unfettered access to EU markets for trade and investment. EU leaders are now signaling an openness to engage with Beijing's Belt and Road Infrastructure project if it meant more access to the Chinese market. China's former head of internet censorship has been found guilty of corruption on Tuesday. Liu Wei, who once headed the country's powerful cyberspace administration, had accepted bribes worth more than 32 million yuan or 250 million pesos from 2002 to 2017. The court sentenced Liu to 14 years in prison with a fine of 3 million yuan or nearly 24 million pesos. In a tweet, the court said Liu accepted the verdict and will not appeal. This latest decision is still part of Chinese President Xi Jinping's ongoing anti-graft campaign, which critics say has served as a way to remove his political enemies. More than 1 million officials have been punished so far during Xi's 6-year tenure. Britain's Prince Charles and his wife Camilla are spending a few days in Cuba, and the United States isn't happy about it. The U.S. is denouncing Cuba's role in the unfolding political and humanitarian crisis in Venezuela. U.S. Senator Rick Scott has written to British Prime Minister Theresa May to protest the royal visit and is perplexed by the timing. The prince met with Cuban President Miguel Diaz-Canel, who recently described Trump's rhetoric towards Cuba as warlike and dirty. A spokesperson for the UK Foreign and Commonwealth Office say the royal visit is, quote, part of our long-standing approach towards Cuba of engagement and frank dialogue, but also the engagement towards progress on matters that bridge us together, unquote. Prince Charles and Camilla are the first members of the British royal family to ever make an official visit to Cuba.
Meantime, NASA's first all-female spacewalk had to be canceled because there weren't enough spacesuits that fit. Christina Koch, pictured in the center, was set to make history in the spacewalk with fellow astronaut Anne McClain pictured on the right. But as you can see, Koch doesn't have a spacesuit on. The problem is that the crew only has one medium-sized spacesuit available at the International Space Station. This despite the fact that the women's 2013 astronaut class was 50% female. So astronaut Nick Hague, pictured on the left, joined McClain on the spacewalk. Koch will get her turn. She is scheduled to join Hague on a spacewalk on Friday.
President Rodrigo Duterte asking the military and police why former anti-drug operative Eduardo Asierto is still alive. Asierto said on Monday that the president's former economic consultant Michael Yang was deep into the illegal drug trade. Mr. Duterte was speaking before beneficiaries of the government's unconditional cash transfer program in Coronadal City, South Cotabato. He also implicated Asierto in kidnapping Chinese citizens, killing a Korean national in Camp Crame, and selling firearms to communist rebels. The Philippine Drug Enforcement Authority denies the involvement of Yang in the drug trade, but the agency says that's only based on the president's statement. PDEA Director General Aaron Aquino says they will still validate and confirm Asierto's claims. Aside from anti-drug authorities, Malacanang has earlier cleared Yang of involvement in the drug trade. Some relief for Manila Water customers. The East Zone concessionaire announces adjustments to the billing for those affected by the water shortage. Jeline Fule has the details.
48-year-old Del Rio Pulikit, a resident of Barangay UP campus in Quezon City, is still experiencing water interruption. Having 4 children going to school every day, she recalls how they had to survive with little to no water for weeks.
Minsan, dahil nasasagad na yung tubig, hindi nakakaligo yung mga papasok sa estudyante.
Del Rio gave a sigh of relief when she learned about Manila Water's announcement of a one-time bill waiver scheme for its customers affected by the water supply shortage in Metro Manila and Rizal.
We are announcing a voluntary and one-time bill waiver scheme to be reflected in the April bill of our customers.
Ay, pabor sa akin yan na magbabawas sila. Siyempre, yung mga lalo na kumukonsumo ng malaki. Tapos wala naman dumarating na tubig. Ang dadating na tubig yung malaking bill.
The scheme means that customers in barangays which experienced absolutely no water service for at least 7 days within March 6 to 31 will not be charged for their March bills. Manila Water President and CEO Ferdinand de la Cruz describes those as severely affected areas. However, de la Cruz clarifies that Manila Water customers who experienced water interruption but are not included among the severely affected areas will have their minimum charge waived. A typical household consumes more or less 30 cubic meters or pays up to 600 pesos per month. This move by the Manila Water was welcomed by MWSS. On an average, Del Rio's bill usually amounts to 400 pesos monthly. Based on Manila Water's sample computation, should Del Rio be included in the 10 cubic meter waiver, 138 pesos and 49 centavos will be deducted from her total vatable current charge. The 138 pesos and 49 centavo amount is just for domestic rate or typical residential rate. Manila Water says amounts will vary according to rate classes. 77 pesos and 29 centavos for lifeline or depressed areas, 723 pesos and 60 centavos for industrial, and 626 pesos and 69 centavos for commercial. Manila Water says it is still currently working on finalizing the areas and customers that will be included in the waiving of charges to be reflected next month. Jeline Fule, CNN Philippines.
Senator Panfilo Lacson says what Manila Water did was not enough. He says the company should stop collecting other fees as well.
Kung walang water crisis, fine, because that's parang sovereign guarantee. Pero nagka-crisis, dapat naman, umatras sila ng konti, wag na muna kayo maningil, or i-waive nyo na muna yung sa Cardona water treatment na paniningil.
And we now talk to MWSS Administrator Reynaldo Velasco. Good morning, sir. Thank you for taking our call.
Maria, good morning. Good morning sa lahat ng nakikinig sa inyong programa.
Sir, you've said that you are satisfied with Manila Water's move to waive charges for those affected by the water interruptions. How did Manila Water arrive at this decision, knowing that it would cost them about 150 million pesos?
Well, that is their call, no? The 150 million is not just the number. They are studying iba pang mga options na kanilang kukumpitin, especially yung sinasabi nilang yung most affected, no? Yung most adversely affected. So, the 150 million is not yet over. But ang sinabi namin nga dito, in addition to this, they are not exempted from what is in the concession agreement. Kasi mayroon pang ipapataw yan na penalty sa kanila as in relation to the concession agreement.
I see. Sir, do you still think that charges should be filed against Manila Water officials?
Well, ayaw ko po, pinag-aralan po yan ng regulatory office. Is the regulatory office that handles this, so we just leave it to the regulatory office of MWSS.
Now, based on your discussion with Manila Water, how would you describe their water supply now? Is it stable? Is it enough to last all their customers through the summer season?
Well, that's what we are trying to work on. At least they are now 97% insofar as the 8 to 12 hours. And just because they have not reached the 150 million liters per day that they are asking for, actually we have given them the source. It is just a matter of how fast they can develop all of this, especially their Cardona plant, the one that is on the cross-border points that Maynila offered, and the activation of wells pursuant to the permit that was given by the National Water Resources Board. But we are still studying some other options that are possible, that probably when the Putatan plant of Maynila will be completed by about first week of April, if we can accelerate this process so that it will be back to normal. What we are seeing by 97%, as explained by what Manila Water, is that this is an 8 to 12 hour window by which their customers are having water. So meaning in some areas outside of that, the pressure is probably less or no water. But at least for that 8 to 12 window, the customers of Manila Water will have water.
Okay. You mentioned Cardona, sir. Is that at full operating capacity already?
Not yet. Actually, right now they are already extracting about 26 million liters per day. out of the 50 million that they hope to do by end of May. But we asked them to rush up the project because it's a needed relief to the residents of Metro Manila under the Manila Water concession area.
Yes.
But there's another 50 million liters per day that they intend to finish by August, but that would be immaterial to the problem right now. So we are just making sure that the 150 million liters per day requirement of Manila Water will be sustained up to the rainy season.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much for your time, sir. That was MWSS Administrator Reynaldo Velasco. Moving on to another story, presidential spokesperson Sal Panelo apologizes to the sister of the late Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. Lynn Defensor Evangelista demanded an apology from Panelo. That after Panelo said on Monday, Defensor Santiago's appointment in the International Criminal Court was void because the Philippines was never under the ICC's jurisdiction. After issuing an apology, though, Panelo still maintained his position that the feisty senator's election as an ICC judge was never valid.
I'm apologizing for hurting her, but I think the concern and the hurt is misplaced. I am an admirer and a friend of the late Miriam Defensor Santiago. She was very much qualified to be a justice. She had the credentials. But the problem is, prior to the assumption of the presidency of the president, nobody knew that we were never under the jurisdiction of the ICC.
The Duterte administration has taken the position that the country was never a member of the ICC because the law which formed the tribunal was never published in the official gazette. Congress is now awaiting President Duterte's decision on the 2019 budget bill. Senate President Tito Soto signed the much-delayed spending bill yesterday, but with strong reservations. In a media briefing, Soto said his attestation to the budget only applies to the terms that had already been ratified by both the Senate and House. Soto adds the Senate still views some of the terms in the budget unconstitutional and that he attached a note on his reservations when he signed the bill. Soto says it's up to President Duterte now to veto particular terms in the bill as he deems fit. A three-man Senate panel met last Monday with its counterpart from the House of Representatives to resolve their differences over the budget.
Attached as Annex 1 is the list of 95 billion worth of programs, projects, which include the 75 billion programs and projects funded from the said realignments. The President may wish to consider disapproving these unconstitutional realignments pursuant to his constitutional power to veto particular items in the General Appropriations Act.
The House Appropriations Committee Chairperson Rolando Andaya Jr. thanks Senate President Tito Soto for signing the budget bill. Responding to Soto's reservations, Andaya says it is all up to the President now.
It's totally under the discretion and complete control of the president whether he wants to veto certain items. But of course, there has to be set or general standards for it. It cannot be capricious or just merely a sentiment. There has to be a standard for it. I've been DBM secretary for some time, and I know what's forthcoming. And thank God it will get to the table of the president for his signature. I understand the sentiments of our Senate president, but what is important that he has given is imprimatur for that budget to be passed on to Malacanang for its execution.
Now in sports, teen basketball sensation Kai Soto is heading to the U.S. in less than a week. Pauline Verzosa tells us Kai's initial plans as he pursues his dream of making it to the NBA in 2 to 3 years.
There's no rest for the 7'2" teen basketball star Kai Soto as he heads out of the country soon to chase his NBA dream. The 16-year-old Cager is set to leave on April 1st to train in Atlanta and Florida for 2 months under East-West Private Agency.
And magpalakas ng katawan, and yun yung sa tingin kong magiging improvement ko kasi Yun naman talagang disadvantage ko pagdating lalo na sa ngayong world competition na kasi nakita ko nung ano pa lang, Asia pa lang, parang nahihirapan na ako. And lalo na kaya kung sa world pa. And syempre hindi ko naman nahayaan mangyari na mahirapan ako. Kaya siseryosohin ko tong 2 months ng training ko dito bago mag-world. Gusto ko mag-NBA and kahit ano mangyari, bibigay ko yung best ko para maabot yun kasi yun talaga yung #1 na dream tsaka goal ko. And gusto ko rin maging inspirasyon sa kabataan pagdating ng araw na, alam mo, parang matulungan ko sila na parang ang mga Pilipino pala pwede pala sa ganyang klaseng competition.
President Rodrigo Duterte asking the military and police why former anti-drug operative Eduardo Asierto is still alive. Asierto said on Monday that the president's former economic consultant Michael Yang was deep into the illegal drug trade. Mr. Duterte was speaking before beneficiaries of the government's unconditional cash transfer program in Coronadal City, South Cotabato. He also implicated Asierto in kidnapping Chinese citizens, killing a Korean national in Camp Crame, and selling firearms to communist rebels. Here's the president in his own words.
Huwag kayo maniwala nitong, lalo na ito si Asierto. Ito nga yung tanungin ko kayang military pati police, bakit buhay pa yung yan? Man, he was the guy na nag-import ng AK-47, 1,000 something pieces. Tapos, dineliver niya sa New People's Army. Police itong ito ha. Anan yung sabi lang si Michael Yang. Michael Yang is always with Premier Wu ng China. Every time magpunta dito kasama yan. Papaya kaya ng ambasador yung satellite nila. Papaya kasi Michael Yang magpunta-punta dito. Kasama-kasama yung ambasador. Ngayon, binuko ko sila dyan, sabi ko, you are a idiot. Nila Asierto. Kasi alam ko na, sabi niya, hindi ko raw binigyan ng importansya. Bakit ko bigyan ng importansya? Kayo yung imbestigar, gawin yung trabaho ninyo. Ang sabi niya, hindi ko raw binigyan ng importansya. Alam ko siya na korap. Alam ko siya na nakikidnap ng mga Chinese. Pati yung Koreano na pinatay doon sa Krame, siya yun. Asierto na to.
The president had once linked Asierto to the illegal drug trade. Asierto was dismissed from service last year. Authorities may soon release more names of politicians supposedly involved in the illegal drug trade. Aside from politicians, at least 30 celebrities could also be in trouble. Our Zian Arcangel reports.
Authorities are investigating more politicians for alleged involvement in the illegal drug trade, aside from the initial 46 named by President Rodrigo Duterte in the latest version of his so-called narco list. Interior Undersecretary and spokesperson Jonathan Malaya says they are working with the Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency to validate information about the involvement of at least 20 other politicians in the illegal drug trade. Malaya did not disclose their positions and only says they plan to file administrative and criminal charges against them once the vetting process is finished.
I confirm that there are additional 20 names that are being validated, but there's more. Sa totoo lang kasi mahaba talaga yung listahan. And it would not be fair to just give out names. We hope that very soon matapos na yung vetting, because we really intend to file again another batch of cases against the others in the list.
It's not just narco politicians in the government's radar. PIDEA Director General Aaron Aquino reveals they are investigating 31 celebrities for possible drug links. He says most of them are young stars using party drugs.
Yes, big names. You can see them anywhere in the TV. You can see them. Even movies, you can see them. May ilan na pusher, karamihan user. And they may gumagamit ng cocaine, may gumagamit ng party drugs, merong marijuana, meron din shabu.
Presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo can't say if President Duterte will also reveal the names of celebrities once their links are verified. But he adds there will be no sacred cows in the drug war and those involved will face charges.
We're saddened that these people are involved, but we will never tolerate it. If they have sufficient evidence to back them up in court, then they should.
Okay, ngayon yung
And they must.
More than 3 years into the drug war, authorities admit the country is far from being drug-free. Based on recent discoveries of billions of pesos in illegal drugs, authorities support President Duterte's statement that the drug problem has worsened.
Malaki ang problema natin. Bakit? Well, patuloy pa rin tayo nakakasabat ng ganito karaming droga.
It's worsening in the sense na mas nagiging audacious yung mga drug syndicates, no? Because remember, it's fueled by demand, it's fueled by money.
Despite the challenges, authorities say they will fight illegal drug operations until the end of President Duterte's term. Cian Arcangel, CNN Philippines.
Construction of an extension of the South Luzon Expressway begins. The project, funded by diversified conglomerate San Miguel Corporation, will extend the South Luzon Expressway to Lucena City in Quezon. It is expected to cut travel time and spur economic growth in the southern Tagalog region. Rex Remigio has the details.
If you're traveling from the South Luzon Expressway in Santo Tomas, Batangas, it might take you 3 to 4 hours to reach Lucena City in Quezon. But when the SLEX extension, also known as Toll Road 4, starts operating by August 2021, you can reach your destination in less than an hour. San Miguel Corporation also promises to bring economic growth and peace and order in Southern Tagalog region once it's done.
Alam niyo, ito pong expressway na ito, 66.7 kilometers, magdadala po ito ng magandang peace and order sa Quezon.
From Santo Tomas, Batangas, the TR4 will pass through Macban in Bay in Laguna, San Pablo City, then to Chaong in Quezon, Candelaria, Tayabas, up until Lucena City. SMC will be in charge of building the 13 billion peso project and jumpstart its operations until 2036 before transferring it to the government. SMC President and COO Ramon Ang believes they can overcome the challenge of acquiring rights-of-way of affected landowners.
Based on what I see today, nakikita ko, very successful yung right-of-way acquisition ng DPWH. Kasi kung minsan yung mga may-ari na lupa hindi nababayaran, let's say, on time, we will make sure na kahit abunuan namin para lang masatisfy yung mga landowner para payagan tayo pumasok agad.
Public Works Secretary Mark Villar says they have already acquired the rights-of-way of at least 40% of landowners. The project has been a long time coming. Promised by former President Ferdinand Marcos and approved by former President Fidel Ramos, it broke ground during the administrations of 2 more presidents, Gloria Macapagal Arroyo in 2010 and Noynoy Aquino in 2015. And many hope that this time, beyond the groundbreaking, the project will finally become a reality.
Ito na po yung huling final groundbreaking ng TR4. So let us enjoy. Hindi na ito mauulit.
Rex Remitio, CNN Philippines, Chaong, Quezon.
Time for some tech news now. Huawei unveils the latest versions of its flagship smartphone, the P30 and P30 Pro. The Chinese company says these Android devices feature revolutionary photography. The higher-end P30 Pro has 4 rear-facing cameras, which the Huawei claims will be able to take high-quality photos in extremely low light. P30 Pro is meant to compete with Apple's iPhone XS line and Samsung's higher-end devices such as the Galaxy S10 Plus.